Many Jamaicans say nothing gwan, but never try to do a thing. Rise United PNP-ism is misleading our children. Hi again, everyone. It's Skywalker. Top of the day or evening or when you see this video to you. I hope everyone is doing fine. My people, can the road you travel on become a highway but you don't see anything? Huh? Can huge structures be built in your community? Our water, our road be brought there for the first time or be fixed for the first time, but you don't know about it? Many of the comrades that walk around saying that they don't see a thing taking place and that nothing going sit square in the middle of development or opportunities. We are under attack as a nation when the opposition introduces criminals to the youths and tell them that hard programs and every other lawful avenues are mere political scams. If huge buildings, hotels, and roadways are being constructed, it is something going on. It's more jobs for you. Yet, as we speak, a new giant 1,000 rooms hotel is opening in Hanover, but they say they can't find workers. A lot of comrades that say Notnangwan are simply not trying to do anything, and that must change. Even if you are self employed, the employment rate is way up in Jamaica. We have near full employment. That's why your little soup pot is selling on the sidewalk. But you say that nothing and go on. That's why the rise in construction and so many of you become employed as laborers for those in the construction industry. That's why more people are building. That's why hustlers can hustle again. If you if you buy a weed whacker, you don't stop getting yards to cut. Back in the days, most people would weed it themselves because no money, no day. Over the last 5 years or more, farming has returned. I can bet any youth that if you plant two proper squares of good okras, as long as you properly target vendors and coastline restaurants, you will easily make double the minimum wage weekly without much hassle to find the market. You can get okra seeds at the market from some vendors. To the government and to RADA, we must find better ways to engage potential farmers and set up more hands on initiatives that will inspire and mobilize the youth. I mean, hands on by hands on, that's what I mean, but not the way it's currently done. The government have land available and cheap projects can sometimes pay more than you imagine. There is no way a country that is building highways, hospitals, hotels, and housing schemes in record numbers with unemployment rate down to 3.6% be a not one country. It is not mathematically possible. Yet people that went to high school are spouting such crap. Why? You cannot have a good reason to do this to our children. Let's find out what is the problem. Why individual comrades nasi not nagwan? Then we can advise them and solve the issue. Is it a problem with the get rich quick mentality? Or is it that they are listening to Mark Golding and the PNP rhetoric that says impossible things like 3 trillion is missing? It's like telling you that your father's bull just had a calf out in your front yard while you were on the streets rubbing out your handmill. You must be reasonable in your thinking, or nothing will ever go on for you but crime. The Notnagwan mentality was started by PNP-ism in Jamaica because Michael Manley embraced handout politics. And then, under PJ, respectfully, sir, I must admit that it turned very pork barrel. People did not consider joining the JLP because their barrels were empty and they had a work culture. Yes, the JLP had a work culture. Youths will always choose the easy one. In life, the right things are not always the easiest, right? However, they are the wisest and most sustainable. Comrades simply sat around the PNP party circles and wait for handouts. They were always at the constituency office. Sometimes, when projects were going on, mostly crash programs, you get a hustle. That's when you would get a hustle. But sometimes your name would go on the list and you only had to do little work. For that reason, too much money was being invested to grow Jamaica for too little returns. This is why the PNP will always have a problem growing Jamaica. And whether we are party fanatics that love Jamaica or not, it is time for us to grow and it is time for us to face the facts. We cannot stay in the pork barrel pit forever. How long are we gonna be there? This is why, for the last two elections, Jamaica switched to the JLP. When Jamaica switched to the JLP, it's for this reason, for we were tired. And many of us love the PNP, yes, but we were tired, right? I said this is why for the last two elections Jamaica switched to the JLP, but we still have more to gain from them. Many PNP people vote for the JLP because this is historically the only time when our country grows, right? You choose people, partners, or associate that can do the job, not people based on likes, tribe, or charisma. As we speak, you can run any survey and find that people, even in some PNP garrison communities, are safe seats, are frustrated and wishing for changes, but they can't because the system is almost systemic that you can only vote one way. You understand there are some communities that want to switch but they can't switch because it's systemic. And many of you all over Jamaica in communities that can afford to vote for better or for change is tiling. Jamaica have a uniform culture where everybody have to wear the same uniform. If a man not in the same style shoes like a you, something wrong with him. You have to learn to have your own minds and stop with this sheep mentality. So if everybody they said this, everybody have to say no. Use your mind and start thinking. We need to start thinking with our brains than with a sheep mode kinda. I don't even want to say that. Anyway, remember, pork barrel politics has supported the development of informal communities, and informal communities are the main reasons why we have so much crime in Jamaica. So don't listen to the hypocrisy of the British man and his chain gang. We all know that. And we all know that the facts are there. Most of the crime and violence are in the same PNP communities. Most of the crime and violence, and I mean a high. I mean, if you go to the prisons now, over 80%, probably up to 90% of the person charged for serious criminal offenses are PNP people. The facts are there. So let us, we are looking for better. So let us Forget about tribe and start looking for better. We need it now. We need we country to grow. See, Grenada, they go laugh after we they know. We need we country to start grow. Yet, comrades say, nothing gwan, even when the Prime Minister gave leave for each MP to give 5 houses in their communities to needy people. But these PNP MPs ain't doing it. They don't ask their PNP MPs what they do with the money. They vote for the PNP but hound the JLP for positive change and benefit. What can go so? Huh? You must know that the JLP has fixed Jamaica in a way that all your councils receive funds automatically across the board. So when you say not Nagwan, ask your PNP representatives why. In the past, the PNP used to give their councillors money to work, but they would still not fix a thing. And then the government would sabotage labor right councils who would still do more than the PNP with their limited funds. Do you remember those days? Huh? The JLP under Bruce Golding created this workable system where all elected representatives get their funding in an automatic way, regardless of which party banner they are under. That's how it works now in Jamaica. So your PNP representatives can't find excuses. The facts are there. So why are the PNP areas still being run down and steps falling? JLP communities are replacing zinc fences with brick walls and moving poor people into nice houses as homeowners to fix the informal settlement crisis. The facts are there. So why be tripping? As we speak, we need to have a survey. Many PNP communities in the big city silently want and wish to be free from the crime-ridden and dilapidated nature of PNP politics. Many people in other communities around Jamaica have not yet seen how bad the damage is. They still call for more of the PNP-ism, believing that 3 trillion went missing and that the Integrity Commission has any good intentions. The Integrity Commission was built with good intentions until it was infiltrated and became as political as the media and the men in the commission, right? Like Stevenson and Panther. We all know that they are PNP activists. So naturally, right? Naturally, common sense. So so many PNP individuals have withdrawn from the tyranny of the PNP, Rise United, that is now a deliberate threat to everything Jamaica. These honest comrades need to do more for their country because you notice a lot of your comrade counterparts are drying away. Why do you think they are pulling away? Huh? Come out and speak. That's what they should do. Help save Jamaica. Jamaica is under attack by a group of people with Tapanaris friends that want to own it as their private business. It's a new world order thing. These people are not patriotic. Some people can be careless, but how careless can you be? You are programmed to say nothing and go on. You are incited by mean influencers that have something going on for their own selfish selves. They that have lucrative jobs and businesses campaign and encourage youths to sit down and feel dejected. So these desperate youths will vote for their PNP-ism party. In this way, these individuals destroy the youth for personal gains. They do not encourage them to go do some hard training. some of these youths will get drawn into criminality because subliminally they are being told that it's desperate and dog eat dog. And if they send them to go to heart, they will realize that something is going on, and the JLP will receive credit for these programs that they have instilled in heart. So that's why they are not encouraging the youths to do what is right, because these goodies are provided by JLP. Just like the PNP comrade who was instructed not to go and accept the free teeth from Tufton. Yeah, the PNP comrade who was instructed not to go and accept the free teeth. So now he has to be doing without teeth. Huh? Do you know that a weed whacker man in the right community can make more than a taxi, especially considering his way less on the overhead? 15,000 a day is not impossible for a whacker man. It gets more congested now, I know. Yeah, it does get more congested. So, I mean, the business, the pie is slicing up more now because many have found the loophole, but it still pays fine. And you know that's how Jamaica is. As there's a loophole, everybody packing everybody begins to do the same thing. So we know that. The reason why this hustler makes so much money is the high employment rate. That means there's something they go on. So if you see say you can go buy a worker and go make enough money, why? It's because something they go on. Yet many say that the prosperity does not trickle down. That's hogwash. It trickles down because the soup butter sells. Some of our older people that have experience with criminal life in the past are still pushing the youth to the same thing that they themselves proved to fail. That is selfish. At least Vibes Cartel told them that it is not worth it. Do that for the youths at least. Any youth foolish enough to see Vibes Cartel sing a song or do anything and follow him now, I feel them fault because Cartel tell them say it no worth it. So all you PNP-ism people where they mislead the youth them, uno can't say nothing to Cartel now. I will admit that the government should find better ways to engage communities when a new hotel is being built nearby, and heart must be at the center of that engagement. They must be committed to training auxiliary staff members, and they must have influential community members on board. There are still people that want to work. Hotels create professionals and not the other way around. Professionals appear where hotels are already built because now that kind of job was provided. It will always be hard for a new hotel to find experienced core workers, but hard can provide many auxiliaries. We need to find ways to pull these young faces that are stuck in the mud of PNP-ism out. I notice that many of us that escape from it are not doing enough to tell the youths. They must escape the chains of a ruthless chain man, Ma Goulding, his chain gang, and his British connected Tapanaris bunch whom he declares will run the country with him too. You know why they want to run the country? Because their thing is a private setup. People, observe this. The Prime Minister has an initiative where he would go to some informal communities and tell the people that he wanted to knock down their board houses, formalize the area, and build them back in concrete. He would also make arrangements to house the people in the interim. Do you know that the PNP kept telling these people that it's a trick and they are only trying to kick them out? Even yesterday, I watched a video with a community of around 12 families being given keys for some beautiful homes which they now own. Now they are formal proud residents where they lived in wooden structures and properties they did not even own before. Now they own homes they had no hope of owning ever in their life. And these projects go on all day, all throughout the place, although people claim that nothing on gone, right? The PNP did not want these people to experience change or progress because they wanted to keep them down in the mud and use them to play crabs in the barrel, fighting down any black man who has a business or is thriving in Jamaica. But it's okay if you are white. If you're white, you can give your picnic one, your shares in a one business, like Mark Golding did. But if you're black, you can't give your picnic a share in a one business like Andrew Holness did. Make it make sense. The bad mind against your own nang go work. You cannot be bad mind against everything black and you are black. I was I was watching a program. I listened to Simon Kraskill, one of those high-collared men from England, questioning why Andrew Holness gave his shares in a business to his adult son. When the man responded that it's what parents do, he still questioned the thing. When the man suggested that Mark Golding did the same thing to for his son, the high collar boy get upset as if he shouldn't mention my Mark Golding, for Mark Golding have a right to do it because I'm Mark Golding's son. But I know Holness son. And if you black somebody out there want me, your black comrade out there. And if you have a pitney and you wouldn't give pitney, the pitney share in a one business, who are you? What are you? Me tell you, man, these coloureds can come and do these things in our country all day and get away. Comrades believe in white privilege more than even the whites and coloured. Why? Is it because of PNP-ism? Heart has had its latest support programs for so long. Yet when you tell a comrade with the not one mentality about heart, they say that it is just an election ploy. Make that make sense. It did all the time. The government has always been funding all these things, and some are coming to fruition now. The pandemic is still recent, so now would be the time for them to start rolling government, rolling out, right? Now is the time to start rolling them out. Governments in Jamaica only have 5 years term, so when were their promised projects to start rolling out, if not now? After the 5 year period, you should be applauding the JLP regime to still be able to do them after so much setbacks, flooding, hurricanes, pandemic. Jamaica has never seen so much terrible events like that before. Spanning one one government period. Never spanning just one term, one 5 year term, or even an 8 year period, right? So Jamaica should be applauding the Andrew Holness led administration, just like the world is doing. Comrades in Jamaica are here listening to some colonial chain guy and his colonial chain gang, with enough of them black. People beg for their own neck chains in more ways than one, without seeing it selling out their children's future. If well, some of them hate them picnic, some of them hate them own picnic. If you had a country and people over party mindset, you would never be thinking that way. It is dishonorable. It is dishonorable. Do you believe that the media and the IC are the only things that these investors plan to buy in the New World Order? It is dishonorable to sit and watch PNP-ism destroy the minds of our youths with negative thinking. They psychologically block them from taking up all these opportunities because they do not want them to see prosperity. Many PNP people are coming from under the same spell that even I was in as a youth. That's why I know how all these tricks work. If these people have never built before, why would they build anything now? Because they have even more propaganda and less integrity now. Don't you see it is an intention to break and share Jamaica like Jesus wrote? Are you supporting them because they have more lies and media support, even when they do what they do and it is obvious? When they do what they do, it is obvious. This is not the PNP anymore. It is a new Rise United Party, which is more like a private corporation and a ruthless one at that. They are big investors. Mark Golding is a big investor who has invested Jamaica's money in Bahamas and other countries, while we talk about Andrew Holness is in breach in a business he does not even own. His British citizenship, that's Mark Golding's British citizenship, helps him to travel and do business in the colonial territories he wants to invest in. And Jamaica is being used as his footstool. This is why he lies about being banned here. Because if he can go in government in Jamaica, it will enhance his his projects, but his constituency has crop dripping and buildings falling. Unfortunately, this is no sarcasm. His constituency has buildings dropping and crop cropping. I'm telling you the truth. And it's because he does not care about that. He's just using Jamaica for his development projects. He is a big investor. And that's what he does. He doesn't do politics. There is this joke about a man who took back the same woman 7 times, got burned 7 times, but she convinced him that she would never give him bun. Comrades and PNP does have a crazy affair. We see the PNP broken down communities all around, coming from Wapi time until now. We see the JLP building communities and poor people who have nothing being given keys for houses, where informal communities are being regularized. We see buildings and bridges and highways rising, but comrades say that them not see nothing. Some of them say that it is going on, but how does it help them? Right? Even if you run a taxi or even on the local road or Juta, it's because of development while you're making money. More tourists coming here and more people transmuting to work. Well, it will only help if you do your part. So do your part. So it makes no sense to say nothing is not nangwan or it's not trickling down to you. You have to do your part. For example, when there are more jobs, it doesn't mean that everybody must start getting paid automatically. It means that you must work in one of them and then get paid. It's not a PNP pork barrel unsustainable thing that cannot work. When a hotel is built, you don't get paid by that hotel because you sit by the constituency office and rub out your hand middles, which the PNP always encourages. That's the big secret to answer the question of why you don't see nothing they go on. Something can go on, but you have to use what is available and make something go on. Moreover, things don't come overnight. So expecting to work for 1 week and buy big Honda is a no-no. That's where criminality comes in. Wrong road. But comrade leaders that roll with fast lane hustlers and court dealers will never give you the hint. Because we are progressing on. We are progressing on because we cannot go back now. No, too many miles are already behind us. So the journey is that much. And because we cannot go back now, because we have our own pride and determination as a people, too many miles are already behind us. So the journey is that much shorter now. And because we are determined to see Jamaica land we love shine as a beacon of light for Africa and the Caribbean, and we can't allow Mark Golding of London to come and put colonial spokes in our wheels or bring forth all them old leeches upon our backs again. Think on these things, my people. Peace out.